This is your Kick-Ass Life podcast, episode number 216.
And here's your host, the girl who serves it up straight with a side of crazy, Andrea Owen.
Hey there, ass kickers. Welcome to another episode of the Daily Diaries. I am so glad and grateful that you are here. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me. This is an episode I was going to actually talk about in the very first week, but ended up pushing it back here. And this happened to me and I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to talk about this on the podcast. It was the sweetest thing ever. And of course I can pull a life lesson out of this. Of course I can. So it's kind of a quick one today. It happened a few months ago. It must have been right around Christmas time. My daughter walked into my home office holding the iPad and crying. And my first thought was a bit of panic. I was like, oh shit, what has she stumbled upon that had so clearly upset her? Because my daughter, she's 8 and she is the kid who I was very much like this too. Very much affected by media and just sensitive, just highly sensitive. I remember, did you guys see, I'm definitely aging myself with this one. But if you are my age, then you probably remember The Neverending Story. And do you remember the scene where the horse drowns in the quicksand? Okay. I got taken out for months. Oh my gosh. Like I still think about it. I'm like, I don't want to see that again. It just was so awful. And I just get so into it. And I don't know, maybe it's part of having anxiety too, but just so much. And she has to, there are some movies that we think like, oh, this isn't scary at all. And she has nightmares. And so she's that sensitive child. But I was like, oh my God, what did she just see that so clearly upset her? And so I opened up my arms and I asked her what was wrong. And she climbed into my lap and she showed me what she was watching on the iPad. And on it was a video of a tiny little brown baby bunny. And then I thought, oh no, like, did she stumble upon some animal cruelty video? And I braced myself for it, but that wasn't it. As I watched the video with her, it was a person holding a baby bunny in their hand. That's how tiny the little baby bunny was. And then they pet the little tiny bunny. And then there was another bunny. And then it was a group of little bunnies. And all the while we watched this, it was like a 10-minute video. My daughter didn't just cry, she wept. And I said, honey, why are you crying? And she goes, Mama, they're just so cute. They're so cute and I love them so much. And she just was weeping and weeping. It was like the sweetest thing I've ever seen, and just at the same time broke my heart. And I just let her weep. I held her and we watched more baby bunny videos. And then we watched some newborn puppy videos where she wept some more. And it just really got me thinking about the whole thing, of what was actually happening with her, and how often do we let it all in like that? How often do we let all the feelings in, let all the cute baby bunnies in and just feel it? And if we do that, how often do we invite other people in to be with us in that? My hope is that my daughter, only 8 years old, will continue to come to me in her joys and her sorrows and everything in between, to not only tell me about it, but to allow me to witness her feelings, as uncomfortable as it is, as uncomfortable as it may be for me a lot of the times. Because I won't lie, there was a part of me that was about to say, oh, honey, don't cry. You know, it's okay. They're sweet baby bunnies. And it was difficult at first for me to just be with her as she's weeping, sobbing. And I didn't though. I'm like, you know what? This is why we were made, as humans. And this isn't going to break her. This isn't going to make her anything but someone who is emotionally resilient, someone who gives herself permission and feels permission by someone she trusts so much, me, to feel all of her feelings and that she is not wrong for any of them. That's something that I have tried really hard to teach both of my children. And again, as uncomfortable as that may be for me, sometimes it really, at the end of the day, is an honor for me and for anyone who lets me in on their experience. And my hope is that you do too, that you allow yourself to feel the feelings, that you find the courage within you to let all those cute baby bunny feelings in and feel it, and that you can find the courage to let someone else witness it. So that's it for that story. And tomorrow I'm going to be telling another story that happened in my home office here, something that happens every single year, and I kind of can't make sense of it. But of course, I turned it into a life lesson. And I wanted to let you know too, if you are, what that whole story about the baby bunnies points to really is vulnerability and having the courage to be vulnerable. And, my daughter's 8, and I think that somewhere along the way that gets pulled out of us. If you read my second book, How to Stop Feeling Like Shit, you understand all the behaviors that we do to try to avoid being vulnerable. And if it's something you are ready to work on, that is the private work that I do with clients. And as many of you know, I'm certified in the work of Dr. Brene Brown. And it's a program called The Daring Way that I do, that I'm honored to be able to take women through. I personally have room for one client right now. And I also have brought on associate coaches. I have one associate coach. Her name is Laura, and she has as much as experience as I do. She is also Daring Way certified, and she's also a licensed therapist. So she has that experience, and she is a coach, so she can work with people remotely. She's one of my associate coaches. And then also I have another one named Libby. She's also Daring Way certified, many, many years of experience as a coach, certified with the Coaches Training Institute they're my alma mater as well. And she's a certified with John Gottman's work on relationships, as well as she helps women who are in recovery, helps them with their sobriety. So if you're interested in working with me or one of my associate coaches, you can go to yourkickasslife.com/daring and fill out an application there. And Emily will be in touch about what the next steps are. And I can't wait to hear from you and hear all the things that you want, and as you continue your own personal development journey. All right, everybody, thanks for being here. And until next time, I will see you out in cyberspace. Bye-bye.